shit about I, who will win and why. I'm alive, just do what you
Alright. Hey everyone, my name's Rita and welcome to my channel. I don't know how to do this. This is interesting, but anyway. So, as of yesterday, it has been a full week since I competed in my first ever powerlifting competition. I know this sounds crazy, but just some backstory to kind of how we got here. Maybe 2-ish months ago, I was at the gym and I saw a flyer for a powerlifting competition. Now there are two sides to me. There is full of anxiety me, and then there's impulse me. So full of anxiety me said, that's a nice flyer, go ahead and mind your business. Impulse me said, girl, you better sign up. Like, why not? Do it for fun, right? But impulse me won that day, and I ended up signing up for the powerlifting meet. I didn't pay attention to much of anything else. Like, I didn't realize it was the Alaska State competition. I thought it was just a regular schmegular meet kind of thing, just to kind of test the waters out a little bit. And I ended up not doing as well as I wanted to, but I did it. So a win is a win. Win is a win. So I just want to go back and watch some of my lifts, not some of them, very specific ones. I want to watch the top successful lifts in the squat, bench, and deadlift. I just want to go back and watch those, kind of talk about those, kind of talk about where my mind was, and then at the end, we'll kind of go over what all of my lifts look like and what my total was. So we can kind of do that. So for those of you who don't know, powerlifting consists of SBD, which is the squat, the bench press, and the deadlift, all three which are barbell lifts. So we're going to watch all three of the lifts in that order, and I'll just kind of go over how it felt in that moment and kind of why and the science behind it all, I guess. Alright, so first we are going to watch my squat. Alright, so I think this attempt was 115 kg if I remember correctly, which is about 255, 256-ish pounds transferred over. That moved good. I like the way that moved. So I specifically remember Shai being really upset with me. Well, not upset, but he thinks I could have done way more than what I ended up calling for myself to do. But, you know, like, I did it. It was a successful attempt. I was happy with the fact that I got all three lifts, all three squats were successful. I'll say it that way. Even though I probably could have done maybe an extra 5 kg or about 10-ish pounds more. But, you know, it was what it was. Alright, so next we are going to go over to bench press. This is the one. I just recently fell in love with bench press, by the way. And by recently, I mean within like the past 6 months. I have not always liked bench press. But it's just something about being under the bar and feeling really, really strong and being able to move the weight off of you that is so liberating and very exciting. So with the bench press, I definitely overestimated myself a little bit. I did not do math properly when figuring those out. So the video we actually just watched was not my third attempt. It was my second attempt bench press. My third attempt bench press, I actually ended up failing. Oh no! It was a little too heavy for me. But again, I kind of overestimated the numbers when thinking through what I could do for bench press. So, and then now we're going to move on to my favorite lift of all time, the deadlift. My back hates me for it, but it's my favorite. So let's go ahead and watch that one. I look so nervous. I'm just tapping my toes in the background. I'm not gonna lie, like going into doing the deadlift this time around, I did not want to look at the board to see what I was supposed to be lifting because I did not want to psych myself out. I would have completely psyched myself out of this lift. But Shy ended up going to the judges table and giving them my numbers. And I think that this one, my deadlift was the only one that I will say was accurately called. I think for my squat, I severely underestimated. For my bench press, I overestimated. I think for my deadlift was right in that sweet spot where it needs to be. But yeah, so some things that I would do better next time, or some things that I plan on doing better next time. Actually, I don't know why I say that. Like, I'm not about to go compete in Jacksonville in October. I've already signed up for another meet. I think I'm addicted, or at least in love, you know? I think I found my thing. I think I found my sport. But I am signed up to go compete again in Jacksonville later this year. So I'm going to take some of the things that I've learned from this meet and kind of move them over here. Such things as better calculating what numbers I'm going to do when I'm competing instead of just kind of guesstimating based off of where I'm at the moment. I think had I taken the time like a week or two before to really hone in on what I want my opener to be, what I want my second attempt to be, and my third attempt to be, and all that, that I probably could have done better estimations for my squat and my bench. The other thing too is being more consistent, training throughout. So I was more consistent than I have been in the past couple of years training for this, but nowhere near as consistent as I should have been. And I think that also was one of the things that kind of hurt me, you know. But in all, really happy with kind of where I went. But I mean, I'm not happy. No, not that I'm not happy. I'm very happy with myself for signing up to compete, for going through with the competition instead of quitting or bailing out or anything like that. However, I know that had I put more effort in, or as much effort as I should have put into it, I could have definitely done better numbers. But again, that's something that you live and you learn. Yeah. I want to now take a look at like all of my numbers overall, so we can just kind of see where that pans out is. So my first attempt squat was 105 kg. I got all green lights. So that means every single one of the 3 judges thought that I did a phenomenal job. And I hit the squat very well, or had a good rep, you say. My second attempt was 110 kg. The judge on the left did not like my squat, which is fine, it makes sense. And then the head judge and the right judge thought that my squat was good. Squat 3 was 115 kg, and exact same thing. The judge on the left had one opinion, and the head judge and the right judge had a different opinion. Which, the way that it kind of works out on whether it was a good lift or a bad lift is based upon, like, it's kind of like majority rules. So if only one judge says that I did not do the lift in the way it was supposed to be done, and then the other 2 say that I did, then technically I did, or the overall call would be that I did, I'll say it that way. And the other way around, if 2 say that I did not do it the correct way, and 1 say that I did, then the overall call would be that I did not do it the correct way. Alright, so bench press. My first attempt was 62.5 kg. And again, same with my squat. My first attempt got all green, all good, thumbs up. Good job, go me. My second attempt bench press, which was 65 kg, and that's the video that we watched today. I got the left judge gave me a thumbs down or a red light, and the head judge and the right judge both gave me white lights, which are good to go. So the overall call was that it was good to go. And then on my third attempt, y'all, it was a struggle bus. It was really, really bad. I might put it in here while I'm talking about it. I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind. But I would have held that bar in that exact same place that I stalled out at for hours before I gave up and said, no, 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 I need help. But they called it because they knew that I was not moving that bar. I would have held it though. That's just I don't care. But either way, the third bench attempt was a complete no-go. I just completely failed the lift, which, you know, I would have loved to have successful 9 out of 9 instead of 8 out of 9, but it is what it is. You live and you learn. You can kind of keep pushing. So that was a no-go. That was 67.5 kg that I failed at. And then we move on to my favorite lift, the deadlift. Now I got all white lights on all 3 lifts. All 3 lifts were considered good lifts. So the first deadlift was 115 kg, which was actually really, really easy. That felt really, really nice and really, really smooth. The second lift was 122.5 kg, which I don't think that's what I told Shy to tell them. I think at this point he just kind of started winging it because I don't remember that number being like an option at all. But anyway, and then the third attempt, which was the one you all saw today, was 130 kg, and that was a huge PR for me. I'd stalled out for a little while, I think in like 125. Yeah, I think in like 125. I'd stalled out for a little bit. And then 130. He put me at 130. Boy, did that man have faith, because I would never have guessed that I could get that off the ground. But I did it, so go me. Anyway, those were all of my lifts. I had the time of my life. And like I kind of said earlier, I think that I found my new addiction. I really, really do. I'm looking forward to seeing how far I can take this, to seeing how good I can get at this sport, just to see how strong I can get. Shai always says this random quote. I'll make sure that he puts it in the videos because I'm definitely gonna jack it up, about how, like, if you don't push your body to, like, a big disservice that we do to ourselves is not like seeing what our body's full potential is, or something along those lines. I'll make sure that he puts that in there. But yeah, I really, really want to see how far I can take this. And that was like last Saturday was like my first step. Yeah. So either way, thank you for watching my video. I do plan on starting to post twice a week. So this is just the first video of many. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If not, like, comment, and subscribe anyway. Bye.